Spain released everything they had. For me, the best football that Spain played at the Euros, even after all they did before the final, was in the final. They reserved their best for last. Dominated, what? 66% domination in terms of possession. Out shooting as many as 16 shots at goal in one game, the final. Welcome to Senior's Last Word. Aldrin Suga Senior, we are looking at the final. Spain are Euro 2024 champions. Was there any doubt? My prediction, 100% correct. Spot on. Last week we talked about the possibility that England could actually become champions, but I only had a condition for them to take the game, open play, and let loose because they had the talent. Did that happen in the final? No, it didn't. Instead, it was Spain, and now they are four-time record winners of the European Championships, the nation that has won it most times. The final, what a spectacle of football, especially from the eventual winners, Spain. Predictably, never changing anything, playing football the only way they know. But maybe what most people haven't known is that this route to their fourth European Championship was not by accident. Spain have not just prepared for this win. The coach, Luis de la Fuente, was the key. He's been with this team now for 2 years. That's when he took charge of the national team. But guess what? He's been part of the national football team setup since 2013. Doing what? Taking care of the youth teams. Under 19, under 21, under 23. This guy won the UEFA European Championships under 19. He won the same UEFA European Championships under 21. For the under 23, what did he do? His team won silver at the Olympics. Now, he went on to win the UEFA Nations League with Spain in 2023, and he is now a European champion with the Spanish national team. No accident. Everything you saw was scripted. It was written in the sky that Spain had to win. The only team that prepared for this win. Don't forget, they had to beat the reigning champions Italy. Later on, Germany, favorites. France, favorites. And after, guess who they had to let go of? England. Spain did it because they have purpose to dominate world football, European football. Must I mention that Real Madrid have dominated European football for the last, 6 years? If you look at their opponents, England, besides qualifying for the final for the second successive tournament and qualifying for the semi-final for the second successive tournament, what is the evidence that they plan to win this? I don't think there is much. When you go to the final, Spain released everything they had. For me, the best football that Spain played at the Euros, even after all they did before the final, was in the final. They reserved their best for last. Dominated, what? 66% domination in terms of possession. Out shooting as many as 16 shots at goal in one game, the final. And then again, this particular night, with the exception of Rodri, who had to be forced out at half-time, every other player for Spain on the night showed up. All of them. So much so that even Morata, who didn't score because he's their front man, their target man, the work rate he put in, the skills he showed, the technical circumstances that he was involved in, and showing us his quick, sharp mind. There's so much. In fact, in that game, we saw the role that Morata has played for this particular team. Not necessarily to go there and score these goals, but his maturity as captain, but also his intelligence of the game and his skill set helping the teammates around him. So on this particular final, every player for Spain turned up. Very difficult to choose the man of the match, even though we all know who it was. Nico Williams going toe-to-toe with Yamal for potentially man of the match. But then again, Fabian Ruiz, very, very in that argument. That was Spain. England, Harry Kane, woefully short. Phil Foden, again, lukewarm. Saka, after a match-winning performance in the semi-final, in the final, well taken care of by the Spanish midfield and defense, denied opportunity. The only player for me, again, who showed signs and who showed the class that he is, again, was Jude Bellingham. Not only did he provide the assist very intelligently, and it exhibited the class of a player he was, because he was under pressure with back to goal. He still found the time to get in there and then lay off that pass for Palmer to score the equalizer. But in the game, even when the team was struggling, Bellingham still found moments where he showed us his class, his skill, his influence, and the hunger really that he has had throughout the tournament. I still feel he was Bellingham in the final. As a team, perhaps not, but as an individual, he was Bellingham in the final. Their best player at the tournament, yes, one of the best players in Europe at the moment, and he still came out to show it. Sad that the team is not helping him. When it came down to the final, everything that happened before the final ceased to be important. Yes, England had struggled to get into the final. Yes, they showed character, winning games they shouldn't have won, or winning games at the last minute or at the death. They did that to dismiss. But who did England beat on the way to final? Minus Netherlands. Not big opposition. It is Spain that had to work very hard to beat the big boys, to be consistent, to still display skill, to still display hunger. England's failure for me, and I've made that argument from the start of the tournament, may not have much to do with the lack of quality or the poverty in the technical setup. I always say pedigree is important in football. When England faces opposition that has done this thing over and over again at these big championships, England fades because they have done nothing at that level, achieved nothing. They were paying a Spanish team that were reigning UEFA Nations League champions, whose underage teams have been the UEFA European champions, under 21, under 19, in the last how many years? In the last 5 years. This Spanish team was full of winners. That's the point. People didn't realize these Spanish players were all winners. Most of these players have been part of the under 19, under 21 that won the UEFA European Championships in European Championships at under 19 level, at under 21 level, and also silver winners at the Olympics. No mistakes. In the end, best player on the night for me personally on the night was Nico Williams. The goal was superb, but what about the assist? Yamal again coming through to become the top assist provider at the tournament. Remember, he had a goal. For me, add that and the fact that his impact came even bigger in the most important stages of the tournament. Semi-finals and final, this boy deserved to be player of the tournament alongside Fabian Ruiz, for me, who was monumental in the final. In the end, only one team was destined to win. They won it in the best way possible. They scored as many of 10 of their players scored goals. It didn't matter that they never had a top scorer. It didn't matter that Morata was not getting on the score sheet. It mattered that anybody in that team could get on the score sheet. That's why England had no answer. That's why France, Germany had no answer. Italy had no answer, because you had a problem tracking the Spanish danger. In the end, fantastic football, a spectacle they presented. Technical, exciting, full of flair, panache, hunger. Spain are worthy winners of Euro 2024. Spain deserve to be where they are. And that's my last word.